Years of Fantasy podcast. I'm your host, Katie. I'm here with
Vinnie Notabartolo,
who is a dungeon master at Hawkins headquarters here in
Jackson, Georgia, or as we call it, Hawkins, Indiana.
Wonderful. And this is the town inspired and both filmed part of the show is filmed here.
Yep. This is one of the key locations. Technically, they call it Atlanta, but there's several locations: East Point, Stockbridge, McDonough, Norcross, up in Gwinnett, and Jackson. Butts County, Georgia. Awesome. Middle of nowhere.
But we're here at this store because you're going to be our dungeon master for a Stranger Things themed D&D.
Correct.
Okay, so how long have you been running these kinds of campaigns?
So this started, the idea generated about a year ago. I went 6 months working on it. And then starting in July, we had our first game in the old location. And I ran Hannah, Cameron, and a few others through it. They liked it, and they enjoyed it. I utilized the same rules set that the kids used in the show because I thought it was very apropos, being that's where I started. And the character sheet is literally one page, technically two, but it's simple. You get going, you get to playing. And just have a ton of fun rolling dice. So that's how I set it up.
Awesome. Do you get a lot of first-time players?
Yes.
Yeah? Do they leave here happy and with a D&D love in their heart?
I am thrilled that I've actually converted people to D&D.
Ooh, converted from what?
Converted from never having played anything like it to that. What's nice, what I like about it is it's the game itself. It's what Gary and Dave did that worked. And as long as you follow a handful of the rules they have, because it captures imagination in the same way that stories, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, all that stuff works because it's storytelling.
Yeah. So tell me a bit about how you discovered the game and how it inspired you. And
so the first time I first encountered the game was a commercial for TSR, and it had been 9 years. It had been seven or 8 years. And they had started promoting the game. The game had split from original Dungeons & Dragons to Advanced Dungeons & Dragons and then Basic. Mm-hmm. And so they started promoting it because they were selling it like crazy. So they started putting commercials selling the products. And their tagline was TSR, products for your imagination, which to me was perfect and brilliant. Why? Because it's exactly how you were actually creating it. So I saw the game, saw them actors portraying it, and I was like, that is the weirdest thing. Where's the board? Where are the pieces? We moved here. A friend of my mom's ran me through it and fell in love with it instantly because the game is limitless. Mm-hmm. There's no end. It's what they call a non-zero sum game.
Yeah. Is there a certain element that you maybe have saw someone playing or like really took inspiration and really, you were like, oh my gosh, I got to dive in. I'm loving this. My heart is just exploding.
I would say the game as a whole.
Yeah.
There's not any one particular element. It's the entire game itself. And that's what I love because you can be a fighter. You can be a magic user. You can be this. You can be that. They even asked Gary about, what if I want to play a dragon? That's fine. You got to start out as a level 1 dragon.
Whatever you want. Yeah. And who knows what'll happen.
Yep.
Maybe you stay that dragon. Maybe you become something new. Maybe you're dead instantly and you must start again. Like, who's to...
I'm the worst dragon ever.
Right. Ooh, mistakes were made. Lessons were learned. Ooh, okay.
But yeah, it's the entire element. It's the thing I love about it is that the possibilities are limitless.
Yeah.
Literally. And that's a testament to 50 years later when the book is, 800 pages, X amount of pages, and you've got all these extra classes and subclasses because people are constantly finding new rules. When the game started in 84, it had 3 classes. Within the next year, where they released a supplement that added a class and 2 subclasses. And so each supplement started adding more and more. Then they started adding supplement books because they said you can do whatever you want. And that's what makes the game so appealing.
Yeah. And so you kind of take that philosophy here when you run your games. Like, so it's a little your game, but it's a little other games. I know we spoke earlier off recording. Do you want to speak to some of your inspirations of like game styles or whatever that you were telling me about earlier that you incorporate into your game?
So one of the styles about the gameplay that I love actually comes from a guy by the name of Robert Wardoff, who is in Northern Ontario. He's a history professor of history at the university in Ontario. And he took the game, created his homebrew rules, and he runs his games fast and loose. One of the things that he does is he has a player's parry, which means instead of you using just an armor class, you actually roll a dice, so it's a competition. So if you were to take your sword and sling your sword up, blocking somebody else, it's not just based off the armor, it's based off the action. That's where the die roll comes in, and that's what I'm incorporating tonight. Each player will get an opportunity to decide, do I want to let my armor do the work or do I want to? And the benefit to that is it's 50-50. You could roll really crappy, roll a 1. But the benefit is let's say that the monster rolls a 1, they get to roll their damage during a defense on an attack, which is something new.
Wow, that's so exciting. And we're going to play with you. So I haven't played with you yet, and I haven't played this theme. This is our first time, and I'm really, really excited. I think some of these elements I'm excited to learn about and experience as a player.
And that's good because honestly, that's the way the game was intended. Everybody should be inspired, and then you take it and you make what you want with it.
Yeah.
There is nobody telling you have to play it this way. You have to. There is that element where people will kind of guard the game. But, I mean, there are other style games out there that are role-playing games. When I was a kid, there was a TSR Indiana Jones role-playing. TSR released it.
Awesome.
So you could play a superhero in Marvel Universe. You could actually play Indiana Jones in the Indiana Jones universe.
Amazing. That's awesome. So do you have a lot of repeat players? Like, do people come, they try for the first time, and then they come
Yes.
a lot?
So what I tell everybody is the game, I run it once a month, and I give you the option. If you want to play it one time and that's all you want to do, that's fine. You know, it may not necessarily be everybody's cup of tea, which is perfectly fine. That's the subjective part of it. But if you want to play again, you have a chance to level your character up and come back. And it's totally up to you.
Right. So if we come today and we play and we want to come back and maybe we can't come because it's once a month every Friday or the first.
It's going to be the first Friday of every month starting out. It may grow going into spring, but for right now,
Okay. Great. So if we come back in town in like 3 months, I can still bring my paper and I can still pick up my character where I left off.
Correct. The thing I like about it and the idea is that I treat it the way a TV series has episodes. We have certain characters that are there every day that see everything happen. When you come back, elements will have occurred. So somebody that was there can reference, oh, we had this. You jump back in.
Right.
If you go to another town and you hadn't been there in 6 months, life was moving in that town.
Right.
You come back. That's how I'm kind of incorporating the game because that's how life is. So
yes. Oh, I love that. So time moves. Like time is real.
Correct.
Time is a real element in your game.
I want somebody wanting to come back to play because they want to, not because they feel like they have to. It's a game. At the end of the day, it's just a game. As much as I love it, but I don't want somebody to feel like I've got to do this, I've got to do that. The freedom in choice is probably the most appealing aspect of it. And that's what I want to get across. I don't want anybody to feel pressured. If you don't want to come back at what your cup of tea, I perfectly understand that. But if you enjoyed it and you want to come back, because I'm having fun, then there's a seat.
You'll be here waiting for them. Like there's always
they
room.
shut the doors off and they pull the police to drag me out. You can no longer do this game. We will be running the game.
Oh, wonderful. So what's been your favorite moment of running games here so far? What do you think?
Honestly, one of the things I love about it is I love seeing disparate individuals coming together that never knew each other before this moment at the table and literally talking and work together as if they had been there for a week.
Oh.
And you can feel that. That is something that's authentic. You can't fake that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the element of the game that I love. Plus, I love seeing somebody else's creative aspect. I have mine. I have stuff out there, but it ends with that. It's what do you bring to the table? What are you adding to it? Because that's going to add to it and it's going to make the game even better. Everybody has talent. Everybody has skill. I want to see that. I enjoy that. I enjoy seeing people thrive.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I'm so excited to play with you and our crew who is off camera. We're so excited to play with you this evening. Give a shout out to your times, your location, to however people can find you.
So you can find us at strangertours.com. Hawkins headquarters has tours for Stranger Things so that you can actually tour the local locations, both walking and they have a bus tour. And on top of that, special events, I have the game called D&D First Fridays. And we give the time. It's going to be the first Friday every month from 6 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
You come in and
these are ticketed events?
yes, correct.
Okay. And what's the price for someone to come
Price
join?
is $20.
Okay.
I keep it cheap so I can put the money back into the game to grow it.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep it low so that it's an enticement to come in and play the game.
Great. And so can they pre-order online or they just show up here to
they
pay?
pre-order online. They can show up. We would do that. But typically you go online, you purchase your seat, purchase your ticket. We have seats around. And then you come in, you bring your character sheet. I provide everything else. Now, if you have a favorite set of dice or you have a mini or whatever, feel free to bring that in, but you don't have to.
Got it. You can start from new. You can just be me. I just walked in and I'm just me. I got no D&D
Correct.
with me and we're going to play.
Correct. And one of the things that's intimidating by D&D is I got to buy all the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go out and spend hundreds of dollars on books. You can do that. But even through Wizards of the Coast, you can get the rules for free and download them and go through it. So if I give you everything you have, there's no expectation.
Yeah. So
and you could leave enjoying it,
Yeah, so come if you want to. I would say if you want to try out D&D for the first time, get a cool tour. If you're a Stranger Things fan, come play with you on the first Friday of the month.
It's a small town. What I like about is there's not a pretense of a big store and a big urban area. It's a small town. These are regular people that just want to play. And so that environment is very inviting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wonderful. Well, I'm excited to play with you. Thank you so much for being on our podcast.
You're very welcome.
Being our DM host for this evening.
My pleasure.
You don't have